David Heurtel in for Aaron and Natasha. I'm joined in studio by former Montreal Mayor Denis Coderre. We're talking about the disproportionate cost of the contributions of the demerged cities to the city of Montreal. 12% of the population of the island of Montreal is paying for 38% of what it costs. Makes no sense, right? It hits smack dab in the middle of no taxation without representation. Yet nothing seems to move. You heard Beryl Wiseman on this. He brought up this very important topic. Last week, I had on the show George Burrell, the mayor of Beaconsfield, who's taking the city of Montreal to court because of this. And he called in, and I thank Mayor Burrell for calling in, and we brought him on. He asked the question, and this is the question that's asked to you. I mean, what do you have in terms of an answer to George Burrell?
Thanks. The issue is not how much they pay. The issue is what do you do with it? And I didn't read the accord in 2008, so I don't know what it is. And they're in front of court, so you know what's the answer. We'll let the court decide.
Yeah.
But we could avoid that suit.
Yeah.
If the two mayors should have talked together.
Yeah.
And secondly, you can put on side all the money that the center is providing for safety, for example. There's ways to work in a better way. West Islanders feel that except for Jim and the other mayors of the cities, there's no really true voice for West Island, for the Montreal Island. So it's all about talking to each other. It's all about leadership.
So
the difference between George, me, and Valérie Plante is George and I loved our city. Valérie loved her job.
So let's move on then to these avenues of solutions that we discussed. Let me get to my question. So we talked about, conversations, communication, discussion, negotiation. There is no dialogue between Valérie Plante and the West Island Mayor. Hold on. I know you feel way too much better. You're doing way too well, Denis. No, the idea here is that, and Beryl talked about this, George Burrell, et cetera, et cetera. But if it's about communication, it's about negotiations, if it's about maybe even involving the Legault government, how come you're not hearing, because I really want to hear you about this, how come you're not hearing and seeing Ensemble Montréal play a role as the opposition at City Hall on this very important issue?
Because they're looking for an issue, and I think that's one of it. The reality for me is listen, don't go and demerge again. That's over. Make the system work. To make the system work is how can we evolve together. I'm taking back the proposition of Mr. Garber when he said, okay, now the time is representation. So maybe we should, for the next step, show that the mayorship of Montreal should be chosen not only by the citizen of the city, but the citizen of the island. And by doing so, Westmount, Beaconsfield, and all the others will have a say. Because
but then Valérie Plante would never agree to this because she would never be elected mayor.
I know, finally, Amstead and Côte-Saint-Luc would have voted for me, but it's not the issue. The issue is about values. It's about what kind of society you want to live in. When the dental paste has been out of the tube, you can't put it in.
Okay.
It's over.
Moving on. Yesterday, I had a great conversation with our listeners about what ails Montreal. Top of the line, I had Glenn Castanera on. You know him from Montreal Centreville.
Yeah.
Cleanliness.
He used to work for.
I know. He used. And he was critical. He was critical of the administration. He represents the merchants of downtown Montreal. Cleanliness.
Yeah.
It was an issue when you debated Valérie Plante. I remember in 2021. What would you do today to solve it? Because this is a major issue and nobody seems to get a handle on it. So what could you do? You know the city. You were mayor. What could be done today to solve the cleanliness problem in the city?
Well, you take care of it.
How do you do that?
And first of all, you have to realize that it's happening. Look what happened in Japan. It's a matter of culture. During the World Cup in Qatar, the Japanese, after every games, were cleaning their area. So it's not just a matter of the municipality, it's a matter of everybody. Everybody has to do their share. If you want to make it clean, you have to be part of it.
Taxes.
No, you don't need to tax.
No, I'm moving on. Taxes. The fact is, the city of Montreal raised taxes. Everybody's against it, but what else is there to do? What would you do?
Well, for the record, I would have swear right there. The reality is that the only way to make a system work is by A, to raise the revenues, or B, to cut the expenses. And
the city did not cut expenses.
Not only they didn't cut the expenses,
they increased.
But they increased also the current expenses like salaries. Mm-hmm. There's 2,000 more jobs, 2,700 jobs more than when I was there. But we're still missing 400 and more policemen. So you need to governments to choose. You don't have to raise the taxes if you cut the expenses, all the extras. So you have to take a look of and we have a status metropolis now that we negotiate. You remember?
Yeah.
So housing is now a full jurisdiction of the city. Secondly, we can diversify the economy so the revenue can be diversified. But instead of just raising the taxes for parking or stickers and stuff like that, we should create the wealth and be part of something, be part of the players. And the status of Montreal, and it's for me, is if we're supposed to be a real metropolis, we don't cut the expense for nothing, that stupid decision of cutting the expense to celebrate the end of the year. You provide hope. You are a catalyst. I've done so many trade missions where I had direct flight more and more with Tokyo, Tel Aviv, Lima, and all that. And just be part of the decision-making process. You call it leadership. And instead of saying all the time that it's somebody else's fault, if you don't want to have any trouble, don't go in politics. Sell ice cream. Everybody will like you. But you got to take decision. You got to take a stand, and you have to make it happen.
Okay, I got to ask you about provincial politics.
Yeah.
A lot of people are scratching their heads about the Liberal Party of Quebec waiting till 2025 to choose the leader. Their situation. I mean, they're falling into indifference. I mean, even at the Bye-Bye and the Journal de Montréal, the year-end issue, I mean, nobody talks about the Liberals anymore. I mean, how do you react? You're from the Liberal family. What do you think about the situation of the Quebec Liberals?
I'm against ghettos. So forget about the Equality Party 2.0. Secondly, it's a matter of people. It's not a matter of structure. So it's normal that you will have, and I agree with that, to have a leadership a year before the election. Secondly, the problem with Legault right now is he feels too comfortable. He's too strong, and he feels alone. So that's the reason why when you have a crisis, they don't know what to do with it. So for the next 2 years, it's a matter of people. It's a matter of to not reinvent the wheel, make it turn. So you need a grassroots level. You need to talk with people. You need to have 1 or 2 or 3 issues that you have to fight. And personally, I think we need a new pact with municipalities. We need to change their jurisdiction, the reality of metropolis versus Canada, the reality of cities, what we say in French, les redevances, you know, on the mining, on the natural resources, a new relationship with the First Nation and municipalities. We saw that at UMQ with Pierre Corbeil from Val-d'Or at that time and the mayor of Saint-Thye. So the decision is there. You never vote for a position, you vote against government. And I think that at the Liberal Federal and at the provincial CAC, after 2 mandates, people are a bit tired.
So you said last week, and you said it earlier this afternoon, you're not interested in running a 4th time for mayor of Montreal.
That's over.
That's over. Would you be interested, or could you consider being interested in running for the leadership of the Liberal Party of Quebec?
I'm listening. My problem is that aren't you fed up to see me on the public as a public figure? Secondly, I'm 60. I've got a lot of experience, but do we have a generation gap? So I'm going to walk 300 kilometers in May because I want to show, now I speak better, you saw with the stroke.
You're doing much better.
But I got to take care of myself. I got to take care of my kids. I got to take a look at it. I'm writing a second book. So about, we've done a lot, but the answer is there. So, but it's about also acceptance of the people.
You haven't excluded it. Denis Coderre, thank you so much for last
My
week
pleasure.
and this week. It was a pleasure to have these conversations with you. Happy New Year to you.